Hi everyone, week 11. Took the shot today, went as well, went the same as it always has been, so that's been very good news. I am down 2.1 pounds, which makes it for a grand total of 16.9 pounds. So it's going well right now. It was interesting because I was out celebrating with some friends and we talked about the social aspect that sometimes you feel you want to join in. Part of eating is part of being with other people. And I don't want to give that up. We went out to our favorite restaurant. It's literally on a farm, and I didn't know what I was going to get. So I just get there. I just wait. I'm not going to panic. And I looked at the menu, and let's just take a look at some of the things I could eat. There were 2 really good salads. There was a fantastic tomato soup, which I've had before, and I had it this time too. Mostly this is a dairy farm. And so most of their things are cheese, chicken sandwich, cheese sandwiches, some very, I'd say on the greasy side of things. It's not greasy. It's very well cooked, but more greasy than I've had in a really long time. And so I looked at the menu and you know what I decided? I got the kids menu. Grilled cheese sandwich which was just half a grilled cheese sandwich. And it had some small little thing of kettle chips next to it because I haven't had a kettle chip in a really long time. And I had tomato soup. It was a bit much in the food. I wonder if it wasn't the tomato soup that made me feel more full than anything because the sandwich was tiny. But it was great. I got to hang out with my friends. I got to eat something that participated in this restaurant. I don't think that you often have to make those choices. Mentioned before I had the kebab, but again, there's salads. I have gone out and eaten quesadillas at restaurants that are on the appetizer menu. Sometimes there's chicken finger type of hors d'oeuvres or even shrimp. So there are things you can get on other menus. It's maybe not the thing that you dreamed of, but they're pretty darn good. And had a great week. I lost 2.1 pounds, so it worked really well for me. So I appreciate that particular aspect. I lost a few more inches. It's starting to come off other places now. Before, like I said, it was kind of coming off my face and my neck a little bit, mostly off my waist. But now I've lost a decent amount off my hips. I had to buy new pajamas because my pajamas were not surviving being as large as they were. And so I bought some new pajamas and they had drawstrings on them. So I thought that'd be good for future proofing these pajamas. And I haven't really had to tie them up before. They were a smidge tight, but I bought them also a smidge small so that they would last longer. And finally, for the first time today, I had to tie them up. So that's really good. And it's just been a good experience. Like I said, so far everything's been good. On Friday, I'm going to meet with a nutritionist. It's just part of, hey, you got diagnosed with diabetes, go see a nutritionist. And so I do hope to talk to this nutritionist a little bit about what I'm eating right now. And I can talk a little bit about that and where I can make improvements. And I know exactly what she's going to say. I have to know she's a she. And I'm not getting younger. And so I want to know too, what should I be looking out for as I get older and eating different types of foods? Primarily what I do is I start out in the morning with cottage cheese. And I have had problems in the past eating cottage cheese or yogurt in winter, cold foods during winter. But right now in summer, it's been great. Cold food in summer sounds good. Then for lunch, I have these Kirkland chicken nuggets. I mentioned them before, but they're right next to the Bear chicken nuggets, which are very well rated. It doesn't read like a chemical label. You can actually see chicken and paprika, and it looks like a real food. And the Kirkland is very similar. It's maybe a little bit more peppery, but it's exactly the same. Then I usually have a snack of the skinny popcorn bag. Comes in 100 calories. Has a little bit of fiber in it, not too much. I think it's about 2 grams of fiber, but it's better than most snacks. So I feel like I had a snack. I'm allowed to eat one tiny sweet thing a day. And so it could be a couple of Rolo candy bars, those little tiny guys. I get a couple of those. Or I found these small cookies that my grandmother used to make of all things, and I just had one a day. In some sense, it's interesting to me because I'm able to enjoy snacks and food in general better. And it's counterintuitive. Because before, when I ate a cookie, maybe I'm going to have 5. Now I know I can eat a cookie and stop. And so I'm also now more willing to buy myself snacks that I would never have kept in the house before. If I bought a bag of snacks, I probably would have eaten the whole thing in a couple of rounds. One night, another night, maybe the third night. Now I am capable of having a Rolo, just a little tiny piece of chocolate and stopping. Or this cookie that my grandmother used to make. I can stop. And so it makes me not feel guilty. So I'm enjoying food more right now. That's been really remarkable to me. So I can have one snack that comes out to, I think I gave myself sort of like a 50-calorie limit. And then I usually have at dinner time, I usually try to eat something that has a next batch of fiber, like one of these Mission tortillas. They also have something called Net Carb Zero tortillas, either one. They're just different mixes of protein and fiber. And the protein and fiber is interesting because you'll notice that they're doing some interesting tricks. Before, they used to make bread terrible and you hated eating it and you didn't want to eat it, bread that was good for you. But now they're using something called chicory. I joke with my friend, it's wood pulp bread. The Nature's Oven keto bread is really good. It's expensive, I know. But my food shopping expenses has gone down drastically since going on this drug. So I feel like if I can have this bread that makes me feel like I'm eating like a real human, every once in a while I have a cheese sandwich or a piece of toast with breakfast or something like that, and that makes me feel like I'm a human being and I'm getting good nutrition out of it, good macros out of it, why not? And with some form of protein for dinner, maybe like a chicken breast or a chicken leg or a little part of a pork chop. And what I did is I went to Costco before this diet, and I bought a bunch of meat and I cut it up into 3-ounce servings and froze it that way. So I had one of those food sealer things. And so my refrigerator, my freezer, is filled with all sorts of different meats in 3-ounce servings. And so I can pull any of those out, put it in the fridge, thaw it out, and have that for dinner. And so it's been very easy for me. In the past, I've even made soups and some other things and put them in the freezer packs as individual servings there too. And just thawed out one serving of what I used to call superfood soup. So there's different ways of going about it. And I think that you can get there if that's what you're looking to do. But anyway, I'm looking forward to talking to the nutritionist. Primarily what she's going to tell me is, boy, Jill, I don't hear a green thing right in your menu. And she's right. Every once in a while, I'll throw some spinach in one of these keto bread sandwiches, but it's not enough. And I know that's what I'm going to hear. So I'm going to pay whatever amount of money it is to go see a nutritionist to have her tell me that you're not eating enough vegetables, which has been the primary message of my entire life. But I wanted to talk to you about something else that's related to losing weight. Whether you're on a GLP-1 or a Ozempic or any style drug, is busyness. I've been so busy. It started in March. I'm a bird watcher, a hiker. As soon as the snow thawed, I was outside and hiking. And I'd get home late at night and I had all these things to do. I have 4 podcasts, and 2 of my podcasts are reading an entire book per episode. So every week I was reading 2 books. It was a lot. It was really a lot. And then I spoke to a conference in July, which I talked about before. And then I got sick, and then I got a cold at this wedding. And then I have fall things to do. I have to clean out my garage. I have shelves in there that are just old, so I need to replace those shelves. I have yard work to tidy up before winter. I got stuff to do. And so I found myself so busy, I can't find time to do most anything. To read a book about how to live better on a GLP-1 drug, or watch videos on YouTube to see what other people are suggesting. I'm just out of time. And it is, whatever it is you're trying to do, not having enough time kills everything. You know how hard it is to find time to exercise when almost every second of your day is spoken for? It's too much. And so one of these root causes, we talked about root causes, maybe addiction or anxiety, might be other types of things that you eat socially. Busyness has to go right up there with that. And I did a podcast about busyness on September 28th of 2020. That was episode 3, Ruthlessly Eliminate Noise. There was a book called Essentialism, which is about just this, like carving out only the things that are really important to you. Even talked about some quotes about Warren Buffett and how he has a do not do list. And a do not do list is not like, don't get mad at other people. It is, I know that you want to clean out your closets, but right now, no, you don't have the time, you don't have the bandwidth, you can't do that. You think that you want to pick up playing a guitar. I want that for you too, Jill, but no, not until next year when X, Y, and Z happens. Or maybe never. You just never can do these things. And so that episode talks a little bit about that, because anytime we get overwhelmed in busyness, our quality of our work goes down, our quality of our lives go down. We don't feel like we have time to be with the people we love or go find new people we should love. We get too busy in all of this. For me, it's coming out in exercise. I am trying to get back on the exercise bandwagon. And when you sit there and tell me, well, Jill, you should really get that podcast recorded today. Well, Jill, you should get on that treadmill today or ride the exercise bike or whatever it is you're going to do. Go for a walk, ride the real bike. Oh, gosh, busyness will kill it off. And so I guess my whole challenge to you is see what can you eliminate. Can't eliminate your family, right? But maybe the guitar lessons for right now, because you just don't have the time to do it. Maybe it is a craft you were hoping to pick up. I'm hoping to learn how to draw, because for Buzz, Blossom, and Squeak, I would love to do my own illustrations. But you know what? It isn't going to happen this year. And it probably is not going to happen next year either. Sad, because I want to do it, but I need time and I need bandwidth. And so making sure that you leave room for the people who are the most important to you, your health, which is very important to you. That means exercising. It means investigating new recipes, maybe even journaling, so that some of this anxiety and things that are causing you to overeat or not live the healthiest life, whatever it is you need to do, just do that. And you can, like I said, listen to that episode 3 of my podcast, Start with Small Steps. I talk a lot about that. You can even find it right here on YouTube. I have my podcast published to YouTube. It's called, again, Ruthlessly Eliminate Noise. But you have to. Busyness will kill off every good thing in your life. I even saw a quote that said, if the devil can't tempt you, he'll just make you busy. Now, all the good things that you should be doing in your life, you don't even have time for. So I want to give that to you as a thought. It is hard for me because ramping up my exercise, I wanted to go on a bike ride all summer long. Haven't had any time. Now it's almost the end of summer and I didn't do it. So it's important for us to get to the part where we have a little bandwidth, a little bit of a bumper in our life, so that we can actually do things that are going to enhance our lives, or do things that are going to make ourselves healthier, maybe even investigate new recipes. My friend who is also working on her weight, she's going out and finding new recipes. She's sending them to me, which is very kind. I haven't had any time to make any of them, but I want to. So again, it's a lesson for me. Hopefully it's helpful to you, but think about that. How is busyness affecting your health, your happiness in life? All right, everyone. I appreciate you watching the video. Boy, this has been an interesting experiment for me. I am a big believer in experimenting in life. And for me, using the GLP-1 drugs was mentally an experiment. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's see how it works. Let's see if it's going to work for me. And it's been great. I wish that all the people who disparage the drug, well, just go for a walk, kind of thing. I wish they would know what this drug means to someone who really lost hope in almost ever getting thin, almost ever being a normal weight. And I don't know if I'm going to get there. I sure hope I am, but it's given me hope again. And I hope you have hope too. Maybe you don't have that much to lose, but you can get there. take small steps, do the thing you need to do. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about more in the future about what you can do to stay healthier and get healthier. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Tell a friend if you're interested in knowing more about at least my experience with Mounjaro and the semaglutide, GLP-1 drugs, whatever you want to call them. I think they're all applicable to everybody's experiences are very similar. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great week.